Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu Rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I want to bring about a very important double standard that needs to understand in the fight against LGBTQ, but this is on the women's side. I know you're gonna say again, here we go, this guy's always talking about women, but you have to understand, when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, أَضَرُّ فِتْنَةً عَلَى الرِّجَالِ فِتْنَةُ النِّسَاءِ, or كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, when he said that the most harmful fitna that will come upon men in this world will be the fitna of women. And there's also other fitan, of course, the fitna of the Dajjal. This is something that we're not gonna get into right now. But when the Prophet ﷺ said that, this is something very important. Now I'm looking from the angle of LGBTQ. When we're talking about LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, all that, you find that the focus is usually on men. When you're talking from an Islamic perspective, because without a doubt, it is a greater sin for a man to be a homosexual, a gay man. And this has been clearly stated in the hadith, the fuqaha have discussed this, and we know this when we're talking about double standards. Right? We talk about, for example, how certain things are worse for women. For example, zina is worse for a woman than for a man. Now both of them are extremely haram, both of them have the exact same punishment when it comes to, for example, the married man and woman, or the unmarried man and woman, whether it is adultery or fornication. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the woman first in terms of outcomes, because she gets pregnant, she has to carry that burden, the man can run away, she stays with the shame on herself, on her family, on her tribe, and so on. So yes, haram, haram, yet the outcomes are worse for women. The outcomes of theft, Allah mentions man first, not woman. In the case of the zani, az-zaniyat waz-zani, first he mentions the woman. As-sariqu was-sariqa, Allah mentions the man first when it comes to theft. Why? Because the outcomes and the heaviness is on the man than the woman. So in the case of theft, if they commit this great sin, then the man is more accountable and more responsible. The outcomes are worse. Even though, yes, the punishment is the same. He would get his hand chopped off and she would get her hand chopped off if the proof is established. There's a lot of details that we don't need to get into right now. I'm just talking in the sense of the outcomes of the sin, right? So certain things for men, certain things for women. Now, what are we going to focus on today? It's a big one, actually. And as I said, it comes from the LGBTQ angle. So when we look at the punishment for homosexuality, for men, it is much harsher than for women. And also them committing the sin is worse in the outcome than for women, because there's penetration, there's the loss of masculinity, there's the huge sin also of sodomizing someone, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has clearly singled out in the Quran. But in that focus, we tend to ignore the concept that actually women engage in homosexual behavior a lot more than men do. Now, when you look at, again, the punishment for men, it is extermination. For women, it is what's called ta'zir, again, because there's no penetration. However, that doesn't mean that the sin just becomes unnoticed. However, due to cultural understandings and cultural norms, and women have always been able to kind of sneak under the radar when it comes to their homosexual behavior. Now, if you look at studies, you look at history, you find that homosexual behavior in women was rampant, and it's still even more rampant today, I would say, with social media. But they get away with it. First of all, because it's not so noticeable. I've been the school principal of many Islamic schools, girls' Islamic schools, and boys' Islamic schools. And I can tell you the incident rate of homosexual behavior in females, it is not double, not triple, not quadruple, not 10 times, probably 20 to maybe even 50 times more than in men. Yes, guys will have it, things will happen. But when it comes to girls, it seems to be specifically when you isolate them and you don't give them tarbiyah and they don't understand the concept haram, even though it's an Islamic school. and they have all these desires, and now they're growing up and there's so many issues that they actually start manifesting this lesbian homosexual behavior much higher than men. And I'm talking about like 50 times higher in terms of incident rates. Well, first of all, because there's no fear of pregnancy, there's no fear of being penetrated. There's certain things that make it just for them thinking that it's okay. They're just also more comfortable with the female body and with themselves, and they engage in this behavior rampantly in Islamic schools, in Muslim countries, and of course in the world. Now people say, no, but there's more gay guys, you can see it. I agree, in terms of identification, in terms of identity, in terms of those who come out and so on, gay men are more. But in terms of those who are under the radar, practicing homosexual, lesbian behavior, women are much more. But they get away with it. Two parents would never suspect two girls being together, doing homework and this, doing things like that. Plus, and this is the main point that I want to make, if, let's say, a parent, the imam, the society, whoever, sees a guy, a young man and another man, they're holding hands, they're acting weird, they start moving like, you know, with their hands around and talking like, hey, yeah, I'm this and that. I'm sorry to imitate, but you know what I'm talking about, that type of weak gay behavior that we see in gay men usually. Hi, how you doing? They talk very feminine. They move very feminine. They dress even very feminine. Their body postures are very feminine. Usually they lift their hands up and they walk in a certain way. You'll find that this type of behavior, people, if you see it, you've seen it, other people see it, they'll be, "A'udhu billah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, this guy is gay. Oh my God, look how gay he is. Look how this." There'll be other insults and other type of things that will be said about them. Oh my God, it's so gay. You know, look at the way he's walking. Look at the way he's moving. Look at the way he's talking. He's so gay. Oh my God, oh, he's gay. Now, never, unless a woman is like a proper butch, meaning she cut her hair short, she's wearing, like, she got tattoos, muscles, she's walking around, hey man, what's up, yo, right? That, and you're like, whoa, wait a second. She got like all these piercings, maybe like blue or pink hair, short hair, shaved on one side. Yeah, then it's a clear indication. Some nose rings everywhere and lip rings and tongue rings and all these weird signals that they try to give off. Then people will be like, yeah, I think she's a butch lesbian. However, in general, most women, when they exemplify very masculine behavior, as long as they still look feminine, no one would suspect them. They can hold hands, they can hug, they usually kiss. There's a lot of extra behavior, intimate behavior between women, but not to mention that's masculine, the way they walk, the way they dress these days. They have feminine shapes and feminine look, so a lot of people will not even question it. They will not question when a woman comes and she wants to be manly, she wants to be the leader, she pushes herself there on the spot. No one, people would praise her. People would praise someone like the women in Avengers or Lara Croft or something, these female characters that are looking feminine, but they behave masculine. They're beating people up and doing all kinds of things. And people are like, wow, that's a cool woman. But you see, if you were to reverse that, and a guy would come like, hey, I'm the superhero on this, and I'm like, oh, look at that gay guy, man. Everyone will be laughing at him. So you see the double standard that serves women here is that women can actually have this masculine energy and behavior. They dress like men, they talk like men, they work men's jobs, they do so much of manly things and masculine energy. The way they talk these days in certain countries, specifically certain Western country, the way they assert themselves, their aggressiveness, it reeks of masculinity, toxic masculinity. It reeks of testosterone, high testosterone levels. They're competing, they're fighting, they want to do boxing, MMA. And their parents, Muslim sisters, are like, yeah, good job, girl. That's really nice. Wow, you're such a good girl. If the brother, the boy would want to be like, Mom, Dad, I want to do ballet. I want to do ballet. They would be like, what's wrong with you? You gay? Puck, slap, this and that. So girls get away with it. They engage in a lot of homosexual behavior, lesbian sex, behind closed doors. And Parents don't even know. At schools, in school bathrooms, how many girls we caught, how many issues we had, how many cases, severe behavioral cases with lesbian love triangles and fights amongst them. I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3 here. You're talking about in hundreds, if not thousands, where you can be like, yeah, we have a problem. Gay cases, 10s, 20s here and there, but lesbian cases in girls, exclusive girls, where people think they'll separate and the girls will be safe, and they will be, even the girls themselves, the women teachers, they don't get it. They think, oh, they're just holding hands. Oh, they're just hugging so much. Oh, they're holding tight. All you guys, girls are like that. Girls are, oh, she's a bit aggressive. Oh, it's okay, she's just a girl. Yet, if you were to reverse that, and a guy were to act in a very feminine sense, and a very feminine way, it would raise so many red flags. Everyone would be like, dude, this guy's gay. But for the girls, no one suspects them with their masculine attitude, their masculine behavior, their masculine things that they do. No one actually suspects them that they have lesbian tendency. But however, as a counselor, as a school principal, I know how many girls come as clients with what's called same-sex attraction. And a lot of it has to do with how the world has pushed this masculinity on them. The problem with masculinity is not with men. This is in our fitra. This is what needs to be empowered, celebrated, and beautified. The problem is with women when masculinity, masculine behavior, masculine roles are encouraged and pushed by imams, by families, by parents, by everyone, society, and of course social media. You get women who look like women but feel like men, hence they will be attracted to women. They look like women, they display those feminine, obviously, shapes and so on, but still they have what's called same-sex attraction, and because they do not, it's hard, it's so easy to get away, it's so easy to basically hide under the radar. Society accepts it, everyone's okay. Everyone will question if a man does a certain behavior, talks in a certain way. No one will question if a woman does. And when they find out that these women are actually together, and I have so many clients, so many cases, so many parents crying, so many parents losing themselves because they're like, I never knew, I could never tell. I'm with you, I understand you. That is exactly why we are making this video, to raise awareness to parents, to be careful, to check, to make sure that your daughter is, be careful who she being with. Check them, because it's so easy for a woman to actually become a homosexual, i.e. lesbian. What means homosexual is not only for men. So this is what I call slipping under the radar, the double standard that serves women so well that they can play. And it's not full exclusive, by the way, I need to make this point. It's not full exclusive lesbianism. It's more a bisexual thing. They can go with girls, they can go with boys. They can shift between the two things. And that's kind of what happens in the world as well. I can claim that masculinity, those benefits, I can be on that side, I can be that type of angel, play that card, or sorry, agent, play that card, but I can always switch to the feminine side and claim the feminine benefits. And women seem to be bipolar like that. They can swing between the two. And yeah, I mean, I'll be with girls and enjoy myself when I'm young and this and do all kinds of stuff, but then I can marry a guy and be with a guy, no problem. With guys, it's not so easy. Once a guy is gay, he's pretty gay, that's it. You won't be able to get married, it'll be very difficult, extremely difficult. They're pretty much exclusively gay, and that's why it is such a greater sin for men, and such a more shameful. But it does not take away from the fact that women are slipping under the radar. They have so much lesbian behavior, it's really increased so much, but yet still most people are like, no, I don't believe you. Why? Because they can slip and get away so easy. No one is going to question the girl who's walking on the street right now, walking like a man, dressing like a man. Yes, she looks like a woman. No one's going to question. She's going to be there with men. She's going to push herself through. She's going to be aggressive. She's going to be challenging. She's going to be there in the society. No one's going to be like, oh, that's so manly. You're such a gay woman. But if the guy comes like a little ballerina and walks around and talks weird, everyone will be like, ew, this guy, yo, he's gay. He's gay. Look at it. He's a fag. He's this, he's that. They're going to use all kinds of bad words, and they're going to look down upon him. They're going to laugh at him that he's gay. No one's going to have a doubt that he's gay. But for women, unless she's really, it's written all over her attire, you know what I'm talking about, most people will not get it. The parents will not get it. Society will not get it. And they will praise her behavior and encourage her. Last but not least, social media. social media and pornography has hit women so hard, specifically pornography, if you look into the statistics. And we do. And shout out to Mike Deskia, who's doing amazing work, and also Purifier Gays and other organizations who are doing amazing work when it comes to porn for women as well. So I'm going to focus on porn for women, because usually we focus on porn for men, but I'm going to focus on porn for women. The number one chosen, looked after, sought after type of pornography that women look at 2020, 2021. Now it's still in the number ones in terms of statistics. Women all over the world. Okay, and how do we know? It's so easy now with what they watch with these mobile phones to track what they are looking at, to have statistics, because companies want to make money. They want to make sure they can create or continue to create content that is going to make them money. So what is number one for women? Women who claim to be heterosexual, whatever they are, women, it is none other than lesbian porn. Women are watching women having sex with each other. This is changing their sexuality. If you interview them and you try to understand why, you'll find some of the lamest excuses, such as we're more comfortable with female body, it's not as haram, it's okay, it's just women do that anyway, it's in women, it is just women, you know. And you ask them, wait, if a guy were to watch gay porn, would you consider him gay? Oh, of course, he's gay. But if a woman watches lesbian porn, would you consider her to be lesbian? No, it's just women. They're just interested. They're just shy to look at men's private parts. They're more comfortable with their own bodies. It's just about sex. They don't care about the gender. All these lame excuses, you'll find them in interviews with women and in statistics and in qualitative studies of such sort, where it makes no sense. So yes, it is a double standard, but people need to be aware of this double standard. And specifically, it is very, very important for parents, Muslim parents, to understand this, so they can check on their daughter as they check, and they're afraid that they will go with men. These days, in the 21st century, 2024, 2025, parents have to check their daughters with other women, 100%. If your brother Gilarwani, let me know what your thoughts are. I can provide a lot of articles on this. I don't want to cause, more fitna or anything like that, as people accuse me, but it's so rampant. These studies are so rampant as well. There's so many studies now. I just believe that the Muslim community, sadly, their head is in the sand. They don't want to hear about it. Like, they don't want to hear most of the things. They just want to pretend that everything is fine, everything's okay, and hence, once they come to us, to imams, to counselors later on, they say, please help me. My daughter, she just identified. 2 days ago, I had a client, very good family, very traditional family. They found out she's gay. She's saying that how am I gonna die not having ever been with a woman, like, in marriage? Like, she's already dating girls. She's already in Islamic school, coming from Islamic background. This is not even happening here on beaches or on, you're talking about like Islamic schools, okay? So be aware, be attentive, prevention is better, and raising awareness is better than damage control. Barakallahu feekum, let me know what you think, and support the dawah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.